The most exciting part about all of this right now is that this is my first video I'm recording with my new camera, and I am just really excited about it. So before I get into the 3 money mindset shifts that helped me pay off my debt and increase my credit score, just want to kind of start by talking about how the definition of insanity is actually doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So with that being said, I realized personally that when I got to a place with my finances that I wasn't happy with, my best thinking and decision making got me there. So if I kept applying that same thinking and those beliefs and those perspectives, I probably wasn't going to see much difference in my results. And thankfully, looking back, I'm not exactly sure what it was. I think it was these little micro moments that added up in time, but I started to become aware of that. By the way, my name is Amy. If you are new here, welcome. You have been here before, welcome back. I am glad you're here, and I'm just really excited to talk about this topic. So, 3 mindset shifts that I applied that helped me to pay off my debt and increase my credit score, which by the way, at one point was 350 or something around there, give or take a few. But I think the lowest it can even be is 300. So I was in my early 20s. Life kind of caught up to me. I did not have any financial education up until this point, and just found myself in a, not ideal place with my money and really having no idea where to turn. So one of the first things, mindset shifts that I applied to start changing my situation was I stopped blaming other people. At the time, for me personally, I was blaming my parents because the first thing that went on my credit report that was quite a lot of money at the time was money that was owed to my university that, my parents said that they could help with, and then they couldn't. And, now I understand it all, but at the time it felt extremely hard for me and I blamed them. And that didn't get me anywhere. It really just made my debt increase with interest, and I made other poor decisions myself. Like I said, I had no financial education, so I also didn't realize what my behaviors and actions were doing to my, my financial health. So for me, one of the first things I had to stop was blaming my parents specifically, but also blaming anything around me, my circumstances, the fact that I hadn't been taught. No one taught me. People love to say that, well, no one taught me. That might be true, but when we become adults, we have a responsibility to seek out information that we were not taught. And that's actually a huge reason why I make these videos, is because I want to share what I also wasn't taught, what I didn't know. And so, thinking in your own life, where perhaps you are blaming your, people, circumstances, situations, and there's validity to that, but ultimately it's not actually going to change anything for you. And I know that every one of us has dreams and goals and desires, or we have had them. Maybe we've kind of lost track of them because things just feel a little bit too hard. But, what are areas where you can actually recognize that perhaps you are blaming something outside of you? And like for me in my circumstance, I didn't do that to myself, that initial money that was put there, but I realized that it was still my credit report, and so I had to do something about it. And that first thing for me was becoming aware of the fact that I was blaming, and I had to stop doing that because it wasn't going to change anything for me. And I wanted change. I wanted to feel healthier in regards to what I was doing with my money and my financial future. The second thing I stopped doing was a little bit of a big mindset shift, was I stopped making excuses. And I think that for both of these, we don't realize we're doing something at first, and we are so conditioned to how we think and what we believe and how we approach situations that we don't even realize we're doing these things. I stopped blaming my parents, but then I was still making excuses. I don't make enough money to actually figure any of this out. I don't have people around me to help me. I don't have these things. It was just a lot of excuses. I'm too busy. I work too much. I go to school too much. Those were the situations going on in my life at the time. And I, again, just realized that for me to make that change, I had to have no excuses. I had to just decide I wanted to pay this debt off. I was not going to make excuses for anything. Anything that seemed like a roadblock, I was going to find a way around it. And I did. And these two mindset shifts are things that can be applied to anything in our lives. And it is so important and really can change your life. This, has changed my life not only financially, but in so many other ways. And just for reference, for me, this all started in my early 20s. That was quite a few years ago. And one of my goals within all of this was to be able to never need a cosigner for anything, be able to get a car, be able to get an apartment, be able to get a home, all of those things, be financially independent, meaning I also didn't always need other people to do things for me. I wanted to learn and understand. And of course, increase my credit score. And I have done all of those things. And my credit score is, as high as you want it to be. And I own a home now. And, all of these things, I've reached all of those goals. And it started with these two mindset shifts. Plus this third one, which is really just taking all of this one day at a time. It is so easy to look ahead and say, well, this is going to take too long, or I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next week, I'll start on the next paycheck. And then you never actually do that. And another year goes by and your interest increases, your balance increases. Maybe you're paying a little bit here and there, but you are spreading it out so much longer and you're never really feeling like you're getting ahead. You're still just always paying the same each month. You're never building that savings. You're not actually increasing that credit score that much. And you're just kind of, again, like that falls back into excuses. So for me, really applying it one day at a time and finding patience with this is what mattered. And also having faith that if I did these things, it would make a difference. And if you've never done them, it can be so easy to just feel like it's impossible, it's going to take too long, it's not worth it, things like that. But there's one of my favorite quotes from the movie The Santa Claus is, seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. We have to have faith first. And I had to apply that to this. I had to just say, I want to do this. I am going to learn every single day. I'm going to show up and apply these mindset shifts because I wanted different results. So I knew I had to approach it differently. And, when you look back a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, you realize how quickly time goes by. And you're also, hindsight's 2020, so you can look back and think, what have I actually done? What of my goals have I attained? And this time went by so quickly. If I had started a year ago, this could have been finished. If I had started 5 years ago, 10, whatever it is. But let that be that reminder to you of how quickly time is going to move in the future as well. And in my experience, the more time that goes by, the older we get, the faster it goes. So just remembering that that time is going to pass anyway, you are going to be so proud of yourself if you take that responsibility to stop blaming anyone, any circumstances, stop making excuses, and actually just find patience in the process, taking it one day at a time, making small goals, big, longer term goals, and every day taking one actionable item to, show that you are being patient and knowing that those little things are going to add up and they are going to lead you to those goals and then so many more. The goals you have now are goals that are relevant for your current circumstances. And imagine when you've reached all of those goals are going to grow and they're going to get bigger. And you're going to know and have faith in yourself that you're going to be able to reach them because you've already reached all these other ones. So those are the 3 mindset shifts that seriously transformed so much for me, increased my credit, helped me pay off my debt. I apply them still all the time for so many different topics. And I hope that you got something out of these. And even if it's just a reminder for things you've been thinking about, just let this be that sign for you, that message. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear maybe something you're working on, how you want to apply this, or how you've already applied these things. And if you have any other questions, just let me know, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.